This was insane to witness. The Bengals come back on the last drive to win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What an exciting game it was. We're going to break down the details on this nail-biting game against the Jacksonville Jaguars that moves the Cincinnati Bengals to 2-0 on the season, even without their star quarterback, Joe Burrow. We're going to share the details. You don't want to miss out. Welcome to the jungle. This is Isaac Coffman with Bengals Digest. Happy to see you, Bengals fans. Who day is all I got to say. My goodness, what a stressful game. But the point is they got the W. It was without its ugliness, for sure. But doesn't it feel great to say the Bengals are 2-0? If you want to get your voice heard, comment below. What did you think of this one? We're going to break down the stats. We're going to get to it because this was one of the more unique games, personally, that I can remember. It's not ones we haven't ever seen before, but my goodness, this is reminding me of the Cardiac Cats from '09. It had it all. It had so much going on. And we want to hear from you guys, so comment below. And also, while you're at it, hit that subscribe so you'll be up to date when all of our new videos drop. You can join in on the discussion and the community of Who Dey Nation. So yes, the Bengals are now 2-0. They defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 27-31. This is crazy to think about. So much to really talk about when you're breaking down this game. But the big focus was witnessing that last drive. My goodness, you're talking that the Bengals were trailing 27-24. Up to that point, Joe Burrow goes out with a toe injury. That's something we're going to keep an eye on. We're very anxious to hear what is going to be the result. Is it going to be something that he's only going to keep him out maybe another game? You hope that it's something that's minor. Just hope it's nothing serious. But Jake Browning, that's the point of this whole thing. He did not look good at times. He had a total of 3 interceptions on this game. And if you're watching that game, you had that pit in your stomach. You're just like, my goodness, can they come over this? Are they going to be able to come out on top? It looked bleak. When they were down 27-24, the Jaguars decided to go for it. That was just incredible to me. They were at the 8-yard line. I believe it was the 8-yard line. It's about the 10-yard line. And Jacksonville gets stopped. Wow. That was just incredible to see that. Then the Bengals on the other side, they had 3:42 left on the clock. Up to that point, that was where the Jaguars turned it over. The Bengals converted it. 4th and 3. That was just, how close can you get? I knew at that point, if they did not convert, that was game over. That was going to be it. But Jake Browning, just crazy. He was able to lead them on this drive. I was going to say, honestly, I was thinking, man, this stinks that Joe Burrow is out. Are they going to be able to convert these 4th downs? Browning did it. He came out, and they had another 4th down. It was 4th and 5 at their own 33 with 1 minute and 54 left. Travis Hunter gets interference on Andrei Iosivas. Whew, another close one. Wow, just one break after another. It was still looking very close. I was just on the edge of my seat because these games last year, the Bengals would have been stopped on one of those 4th downs. Just they needed that extra play. Today, they got those extra plays. It was not pretty. This was not one of those games honestly, I'm okay if they don't have any more games like this on their victories. Victories that they win by a touchdown or two and are able to run down the clock, take a knee at the end of the game. I'd like to see one of those games. It's 2 games in. I'm sure there's going to be more of those come the next few weeks. Let's just keep this ball rolling, literally. But, wow. I mean, you're talking suspense. They get down to the goal line. Dalton Reisner, I'm so glad they got him, but man, it was just like, of all times, he gets a penalty. They had it at the goal line. Has offsides with 51 seconds left. Wow. It was just building to all the suspense you could possibly get in this game. It was so crazy. Just one thing. It was just, they need to do this. An obstacle. They need to do this. Obstacle. 4th down. Okay, they need to convert it. Convert. All right, we need to score. Penalty. Backing them up. Oh, man, it was just like, again, I have to go back to, this was very frustrating, but refreshing. Does that make any sense at all, that they were able to overcome these obstacles? I don't want these anymore this year. I cannot state that enough. But at the end of the day, Browning kept the ball. He leaps over the top of the pile for the touchdown, for the go-ahead touchdown. Just awesome. But they did get the ball back with 18 seconds, Jacksonville. And that's where, again, I'm like, this game should be over. But we still have 18 seconds. Trevor Lawrence, he's getting the ball. But what happens? You have Trey Hendrickson, the guy you gave a raise to. He showed why he got his raise. Simply put. Who knows what would have happened if he did not get the sack there. They could have very well had a stop. But that just puts you at ease. When you saw that sack, it was just like game over. Even if you're listening to it on the radio, Dan Horde gave the coffin nails finale. Maybe it was premature because they did get another snap off. They tried to do their backward laterals, but in the end, the Bengals are able to stop them again. Final score, Bengals 31, Jaguars 27. Whew. We're going to need some time to recover from this, but again, 2-0. We get to say that. The Steelers lost. The Bengals sit at the top of the division. What a great feeling. Soak it in, Bengals fans. This is a great feeling. They are off to their first 2-0 start with Zach Taylor. And has it been pretty? Absolutely not. The Cleveland Browns game left a lot to be desired. They struggled. They came out looking rusty still, even though they played in preseason, kept saying we're going to come out fast. So far, though, what does the scoreboard say? 2-0. And that's what it's going to come down to. You're going to hear a lot of people say, well, they didn't do this right. And they did. Sure, let's talk about it. Let's talk about all the things they're going to need to get better at. They can't always do this every week. But scoreboard, 2-0. They were not doing this last year. The adversities, the obstacles, different things put in front of them, they didn't overcome them. And it's early. Again, we're 2 games in. Anything can happen. There's still so much more football to play. But if there's one thing about this team, they are rising to the occasion. They are overcoming the obstacles, and a lot of it is coming down to their defense. Their defense is stepping up. And it was not pretty. I'm not going to sit here and say this is an amazing defense. They still gave up 27 points today. And you can chalk that up to the turnovers. Again, Jake Browning had 3 interceptions. That's not going to cut it. That's going to be losing football most weeks. But the defense got stops. The defense got turnovers. And some of that was Jacksonville's mistakes, but that's what good defenses do. Good defenses, you might see, well, it's the other team making the mistake. You capitalize on mistakes. That's something that this defense failed to do on those opportunities. So we'll see what happens going into next week. For now, just soak it in. 2-0. That's a great feeling. And we'll keep an eye on everything with Joe Burrow because as of right now, it looks like it's a toe injury. They were saying that he was in a boot after the game in the locker room and a single crutch. It's so frustrating. You want Joe Burrow to be there celebrating with his team healthy. Stay tuned. Hopefully this is not going to be a severe injury. It's just precautionary. Never a good thing to see a guy in a boot or something along those lines with a crutch, but sometimes it is precaution. It's just to take more of the safe route. Keep him off that. Don't put the weight on it. When he was walking back to the locker room, he was being helped. He was kind of walking on his own power up to that point. So that's where there's a little bit of optimism. Again, we got to wait and see what they'll say. They did not comment. Zach Taylor did not in the locker room. But this is what matters. Even losing Joe Burrow, they moved to 2-0, defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just soak that in. Again, there's a lot of negative we could talk about, but right now, let's soak it in. The Bengals overcame adversity. They were able to get the game-winning drive. What an exciting drive that was. If anything, that was one of the more entertaining games you're probably going to see this year. What a game. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. Again, a lot of factors with Joe Burrow, and if this defense can continue to rise to the occasion when it comes to getting the stops. They have a lot to improve on. They have a lot of things they are going to have to fix. They were giving up big plays, but exciting to go forward. Cannot wait to see what is in store for us as the season goes on. But we love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts of being 2-0 atop the division? And what are your thoughts coming up with Joe Burrow possibly going to be missing some time. We're going to have to wait and see on the updates, but we want to hear from you. What do you think? What did you think of the game? What's your confidence level going forward? And again, if you have not already, smash that subscribe so you'll be all up to date when all of our new videos drop. So that's going to do it for now, guys. As we say, Hoo day.